I want to try the Dark Femme makeup look, and I honestly think that I can do it with the classic Walking on Eggshells from Wet n Wild, so I'm gonna try. I really feel like you can do it with a simple palette just like this. I'm gonna pull in my ColourPop shadow stick, but you could probably even just swap this for your bronzer. So let's just do it. Let's just do it. This baby is $5. It's a classic from Wet n Wild. It's been around forever. They have changed it to the 5-pan look, but just look at it. It's so good. I had to get it back in my collection because I was feeling nostalgic watching a different, yeah? I was feeling very nostalgic watching another makeup video the other day, and they talked about this, so I had to re-get it. I had to add it back into my collection, and we're gonna use it today. Like I said, we are starting with this ColourPop shadow stick. This is just a nice medium brown, so also you can just use a bronzer or anything like that. We are going to kind of tie in the eyeshadow to the bronzer and blush anyway towards the end. So yeah, if you just use more of like your normal bronzer shade, that would also work. But I'm just gonna put this all over the eye and then blend it out with a little bit of a dense brush and then kind of wing it out towards the temple, connect it to where I already have some cream bronzer. This is about as winged of a look as I'll probably ever do, because if it's with a nice neutral bronzer brown type of shade, I can kind of get away with it. But like a big wing with lots of color doesn't really look great on me, but kind of just defining the eye and contouring the eye like we're doing in this video, I can get away with. So that is what we are doing today. Shadow stick blended out, we're going to go in with this nice medium brown shade in the Walking on Eggshells eyeshadow palette and start blending that mostly into the crease and again out into that temple area, and also take it under the brow, onto the nose a little bit, and then once there's not very much product left on the brush, I take it and sweep it all over the lid. This is just going to give us a nice base to make sure that our shadows are nice and smoky and blended out and just looking gorgeous. Then I'm going to take the No Budge eyeshadow stick from e.l.f. and I'm going to line my upper waterline, and I'm going to line my lash line on the top and just use my finger to smudge it out. When you're using these e.l.f. No Budge, either the eyeliners or the eyeshadow sticks, you want to do one eye at a time because they do dry down pretty quickly, and once they dry, they will not budge. Like the name suggests, they absolutely will not go anywhere, which is why I like to use them as eyeliners. But again, just make sure you do one eye at a time so that you're not stuck with something that doesn't look blended. And then once I got that blended to how I like it, I'm going to take a pencil brush and the darkest brown eyeshadow in the Walking on Eggshells eyeshadow palette and start kind of adding to the outer corner, the outer part of the lash line, and also just kind of in this outer V, and start building up that outer corner a little bit. I'm not winging it out too much with this dark color because that just personally does not look good on my eye shape and my face shape. I only winged out the medium bronzer shade. So if you have a similar eye shape to me, you might want to do the same. And then with this darker color, I'm keeping it much closer to the eye and kind of just defining my natural eye socket, and only in the outer corner with kind of like a V shape. I'm going to take the darker bronzy color, the darker shimmer that's in the palette right here, and put that all over the lid. And that is the shade that really made me think that, yeah, you could definitely pull off like a darker, smokier look with this palette because it does have this darker bronzy shade for you to put all over the lid. It still has some shimmer to it, but it's nice and, you know, like a medium to deep color. So you can definitely pull off like a nice, smoky, dark, feminine look. Of course, you could also use that dark matte brown to do a matte look, but I think that this look definitely kind of benefits from a little bit of shimmer. We're also going to do some glow on the face, and I just think it looks so good when you do a bronzy, smoky, sultry look that also has some glow to it. Just makes it look a little bit more alive, in my opinion. So put that all over the lid and then blended it out, and I'm just using the highlight shade on the inner corner and the brow bone to, again, just kind of define the eye and make sure all of the things are popping that need to pop, and all of the things are smoky that need to be smoky. You get the eyes to this point, I'm going to move on to the face. I had just done my base and like cream steps for all of my steps and then baked under the eyes while I let the rest of my face air dry and worked on the eyes. So now I'm going in with powder steps for the face. I will list all of the products that I used even off of camera down below if you're curious, but I just feel like sometimes my base routine can get a little bit redundant, and I just wanted to focus on these powder steps because as you can see, I'm basically blending it right into the eyeshadow. I'm taking that bronzer brush right over the outer corner of the eye with that matte bronzer. And now we're taking a shimmery bronzer and kind of adding that to the bronzer areas as well. I'm kind of adding it almost to the whole cheek area, bronzer and blush area, just to give myself an all over glow with this bronzer. This is the Milani Baked Bronzer. As you can see, it kind of has a little bit of a reddish tone to it, so it looks pretty good in like the entire cheek area. Then I'm going to take my Milani Luminoso blush and kind of do my normal powder blush routine by putting it in my normal blush areas, and then as the product leaves the brush, I'm going to dust off that bake under the eye. I just feel like it makes that whole under eye and cheek area look super, super flawless and blended. For the piece de resistance for the face, another gorgeous Wet n Wild palette that I always bust out for these bronzy looks, which is the Blush Naked Brown. And as you can see, I'm basically marrying all of the steps together. The bronzer, the blush, the eyeshadows, everything is getting this naked brown shade. It is this perfect toasty blush shade. It's so freaking gorgeous. And like I said, just putting it all over the eyes and making sure that all flows together. I feel like that's really important for this type of look. Just monochromatic bronziness, deliciousness all over the face. And I'm sorry I didn't show it. I was accidentally completely out of the screen, but I was trying to show you guys the difference between smoking out your lower lash line and not smoking it out and how it's so important. You would think that smoking out your lower lash line with eyeshadow would make your eye look smaller, but it actually has the opposite effect, and it just looks so much more cohesive when you do put some eyeshadow down there. So you should do that. And then here I am explaining how I'm not going to put on lashes because I live in Wyoming and there's 50-mile-per-hour winds outside right now, and I was getting ready to take my kids to school, and I just don't love the feeling of my eyelashes being blown around in the wind. So the best I'm going to do is put on some mascara and really focus it on the outer corner. If you are going to put on lashes, definitely make sure they're more of a cat eye winged out shape. Then once the mascara was on, I was kind of thinking, this is a dark femme look and the eyeshadow is not dark enough. So I'm taking this small angled detail brush and taking that dark brown and adding more to that outer corner and blending it up a little bit further, up vertically, not out to the side, but up to kind of smoke things out even more. And I think that really took it there and took it to that right there, that dark femme cat eye kind of look. It just needed that extra oomph. So sometimes when you're doing your makeup after you do your face steps or your mascara, you might be thinking something's missing, and it could be. So just add a little bit more, a little bit at a time, and just like that, I was feeling it. Now we are moving on to the lips, and I thought like a gorgeous glossy brown would be absolutely perfect for this look, and I fell in love. I'm using one of my Wet n Wild lip liners here, and then I'm using the new Milani Plumping Glossy Balms, and this is actually the darkest shade in Truffle. This is so gorgeous. As you can see, they come off a little bit more sheer than the color on the tube looks, which is just perfect. And these are so glossy and so comfortable on the lips. I'm just in love with them, and I'm in love with this color. I love the monochromatic finish of how everything came together, and I just love this look in general. I'm so happy with how it all turned out. Let me know what you guys think down below. As you can see, I am in love. Let me know how I did with a dark feminine look. I think it turned out more dark femme for pale skin, monochromatic brown, very bronzy and gorge, but let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.